We're back with more Call to the Booth. That's Aqib Talib. I'm Harrison Sanford. Free agency is not over, but it's pretty much come to a wrap here. There's still some minor names that are out there, Ndamukong Suh, Leonard Fournette are some of them. But for the most part, a lot of the odds now are coming out from Vegas as it pertains to next season. We'll see what happens and how the NFL draft might influence that. But as of now, we have some odds. Our producer, Paul Aspan's coming in. He's going to give us some odds. Aqib's going to kick back some feedback on it. Then we'll just keep going through until we pretty much cover some of the more intriguing odds that we have out there.
All right, so Aqib, he already told us about Arizona, the Cardinals. Aqib, you're talking about them when they were still 7-1. They made some moves, they're down to 5.5-1. So way ahead of the market on that. Let's move over the rest of the NFC. So in the NFC North, Lions are 28-1. You got your guy Jared Goff, guest of the show. But any reason to talk about the Lions?
Well, I am a huge Jared Goff fan, but in the same division with A-Rod, I don't see him doing too much. I pass.
Unfortunately for Jared Goff, he won't have Marvin Jones, who ended up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He won't have Kenny Galladay, obviously, with the New York Giants. Right now, his starting wide receivers, Rashard Perryman, Tyrell Williams, doesn't seem like an ideal fit for somebody who's trying to, I guess, maybe reclaim his name in a different market for sure. Paul, what else we got?
All right, so let's move to the NFC South. So the Falcons trying to go worst to first at 12-1. Still obviously got the NFC or the NFL champs, the Bucks, in that division, and they totally retooled. So what do you got on the Falcons, Aqib?
Well, the Falcons is an if factor. If they draft one of these young bull quarterbacks, man, and they ride with him and they get him in there, I think the team will rally around him, and they got a super talented group on offense. And I think they may be able to do something. Maybe with Drew Brees retiring, it's a second place looming somewhere for the Falcons. But if they ride with my guy Matt Ryan, then I see a lot of what happened last year, man. A bunch of sacks. You know what I'm saying? It's 2021. We got to create that extra second if you want to be successful, unless you Tom Brady. So, it's an if factor with them, man. If they get that old state kid to play quarterback for them, I could see that team catching fire.
Also, on Wednesday, or it's Tuesday rather yet, they signed Mike Davis to a 2-year, $5.5 million deal. Maybe another running back that could help him hold on to leads, because we all know how the Falcons have been doing with leads for the past couple of years. Paul, what you got?
So NFC East, last division in the NFC. So NFC East, we all know, was a mess last year. Washington football team rose to the top at the end. Eagles are 5-1. Giants are like 4.5-1, depending on where you look. So kind of either of those teams, got Jalen Hurts in Philly, obviously, new regime there. Giants adding some pieces in free agency. How do you, still wide open, or how do you see the East playing out?
I like both of these teams. I love Justin. I love Hurts, Jalen Hurts in Philly. But I think both of these teams is a couple years away. They're still young. They're still building. Man, I think they're about a year or two away. I like the Cowboys to win the division. I like Washington to be playing for that second place. So I guess I'll pass.
We're seeing it might be a rejuvenation of this division. Last year it was down bad,
Right.
down real bad. But all these teams made some big moves in the offseason. The biggest move made for the Cowboys is just getting a healthy Dak Prescott. But it looks like all these teams are trending on the way up.
Last few years they've been bad.
Yeah, for sure. I guess we should jump over to the AFC.
Yeah. So let's start AFC East. So the Jets, obviously, number 2 pick in the draft, have made some moves in free agency. They're at 15-1 to win the division. Too soon to think about the Jets win the AFC East. You just were talking about them, Aqib, like how tough that division is going to be this year.
Man, it's definitely going to be tough. But it's a quarterback-driven league. So until they got a quarterback on their roster who I'm confident in, I'll pass.
All right, yeah, AFC North. Like I wanna believe in the Bengals a little bit, but it's tough for me too. But 23-1, Aqib, is you seeing anything you like in Cincinnati for them to make a run in the AFC North? Another tough division.
Like you said, another tough division. Another team who about 2 or 3 years away, man. Once the Big Ben burned out and he's gone, and then Cincinnati will start coming with a young Burrow, a year 3, year 4 Burrow. But right now, division too tough. I'll pass.
Big loss for them as well. Very underrated because the Bengals have been getting clowned, at least by the national media, for a couple years now. But Will Jackson ranked out as one of the top DBs in the league, and now he's with the Washington football team. So big loss for the Bengals on that side of the ball as well. And I think this is what, year 3 for head coach Taylor?
Zach Taylor, yeah.
So, Zach Taylor. This might be pivotal season for him as a head coach to make some improvements. Obviously, having a healthy Joe Burrow would play a role there as well.
All right, AFC South. So the longest odds are actually the Texans, but Harrison, you just mentioned it, how much of a mess is going on in Houston. We're going to focus on the Jaguars. They're the worst to first potential team. So they're 10-1. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence, Urban Meyer, any noise they can make in the AFC South, Aqib.
Man, with the mess that's going on in Houston, we don't know what's going to happen with that. And, it's this Trevor Lawrence. I like this kid since QB1 on Netflix. You know what I'm saying? So he's one of those guys. He's one of those special guys. It just matter how quick he pick up the speed of the NFL. I don't think it'll be a problem, man. And with Urban Meyer coming, it's a new regime there in Jacksonville, and I kind of like it, man. I kind of like it. I think it's gonna come out hot, and I think they can do something. Man, I like the Colts to win the division, but I like the Jags to come in and be a close second. I like them to come out and catch fire.
They do have some sneaky weapons.
They got a lot of weapons, a bunch of weapons, and it's really all gonna be on Trevor Lawrence, man. If Trevor Lawrence come out and he adapt to the NFL quick, it should be a college-style offense. He's not gonna have a problem learning the offense because it's Urban Meyer, so it's gonna be kind of similar to what he know. But if he can come out and just have that confidence and that shit feed through the rest of that locker room, man, Jacksonville, they could be one of them worst, the first team, especially in that division.
So it looks like Trevor Lawrence will probably be that pick there. What do you think happens to Gardner Minshew? And where does he? How do you evaluate his talents? Because it looks like some days people love him, and then some days they don't. What were your impressions of Gardner Minshew? And is there anywhere where maybe you'd like to give him another chance at being a starting quarterback?
Well, if I was Jacksonville, I'd definitely keep him because if Trevor Lawrence come in and he's not picking up the speed as fast, you got Gardner Minshew. He could start. If you need him to start, he could start. But I think he's a great backup quarterback in the league, and if a quarterback get hurt and he has to start 5 to 6 weeks, he's more than capable of doing it. So I don't know. I don't look at him as like the next Patrick Mahomes or nobody like that, man. We've seen him in the game. We've seen his winnability, but I think he's capable. But I think he's a backup quarterback, man. So if I was Jacksonville, I'll hold on to him as that veteran presence, and soon as Trevor Lawrence is ready, I have him in, and I have Gardner to back up.
All right,
last one.
Yeah, last division. I'm very interested to see what you think about the Broncos, Aqib. They are 16-1 just to win the AFC West, and not just talking about them because they're your former team, but they've made some moves already. How do you think the Broncos? Do you think they can give the Chiefs a run in the AFC West?
Now, how they build this team? If Von and Chubb catch fire, man, I think they got a chance. This is a zone. They're gonna play their zone. I'm sure they looked at what the Bucks did in the Super Bowl. I'm sure they already got it mapped out on how they want to play the Chiefs. So if Chubb and Von is healthy, man, and they can get after the quarterback like the Bucks got after the quarterback, that's where it's going to start, man. And shit, that's a great start to me. That's a great start, Von and Chubb. So I think they got a chance, man. I think they got a chance. I wish that mess wouldn't have happened in Houston, and I wish Deshaun could just end up. If you put Deshaun in there, then I love their chances. I love him versus Mahomes because he done went face-to-face with Mahomes plenty of times and came down to the wire. So you give him a good defense and a advantage like Mile High Stadium. If you give a Denver advantage like that, I like him, man. But we don't know what's going to happen with this quarterback situation. It's still iffy. If Drew locked the quarterback, man, I'm a bet with the Chiefs. I ain't gonna lie, but if Deshaun was able to be that quarterback, they could really give Kansas City a run for their money.
Is there any reason, or what can you said on a recent show, Keith, like Drew Lock's a good quarterback, he just might not be there yet. Can
right.
as someone who may have made this bet last week, can you give me a reason to hope if Drew Lock is still the quarterback, like what he can do, what you see in him that makes you believe he could eventually be the guy?
Man, his confidence is second to none. So that confidence, I'm telling you, when you have a guy in a major position like that, super confident, it goes throughout the locker room, man. So if he trusts those receivers, Judy and them had some drops last year. If they go up and make some plays, Sutton be back. Them guys go up and make plays for him, then it could turn good. It could turn good. It'll make him throw more 50-50 balls. Sutton is, I say Galladay number 1. Sutton is number 2 or 3. I like Robinson from Chicago. Sutton, he about number 3 or 2 or 3 at these 50-50 balls himself, man. So you got a guy who can catch him. You just got to trust Sutton. Trust Judy going to win on them routes because can't nobody guard him. So just that confidence, man. He just got to believe in his guys, Paul. If he believe in his guys and he make throws and that O-line protect them. The O-line is they coming together, so and that O-line protect them, man. This offense could catch fire. I think the defense is going to give them 8 wins. If that offense could come around, man, that'll put them at like 12, and 12 will get you an attorney.
Before we take this one home, I'm going to peel back the curtain for some of the audience and also let Aqib know this too. So probably maybe for the last 2-3 weeks, Paul and I have our little production phone calls, and he's been saying, I would really love to see Deshaun Watson to go to Denver. I would really love Deshaun Watson to go to Denver. And I didn't really ask why too much. And I had just assumed, well, we probably have a strong audience. We have a strong audience from Denver. So therefore, he just wants us to talk about Denver more. Makes sense. I'm thinking as an editor, as a producer, and as a host.
Yeah.
Now I'm realizing Paul really wants us because he put some chips down.
Yeah.
I had an ulterior motive. Yeah.
Yeah. A January bet.
Yeah, right. Get out ahead of the market. But
yeah.
That's exactly what that was. I guess we'll see what happens. The Deshaun Watson situation in Houston has been getting more hectic by the day. So I guess we have to see how that all fizzles out. And then we might have a finalization to that come around the NFL draft. We'll see. Obviously, the Houston Texans have picked up Tyrod Taylor. So who knows if they are prepared to potentially move Deshaun once this mess clears out. But we'll be coming back towards the NFL draft with some previews. Obviously, we'll have some analysis as well. We'll have some fun with it as a lot of kids' dreams are being made. Aqib, do you remember what you were doing at this moment going into the NFL draft? The combine was already done, I would assume, by this point, or your pro day. What were those weeks leading up to the NFL draft like?
I think I went back to Kansas, and I was just spending time with my daughter, and just, just taking it all in, man. I probably was done with school at that point. There probably was no classes being attended at that point. So I just was hanging out with my same friends in Kansas, man, and, just taking it all in, man, getting ready for it. Anybody
ask you to cover any bills in advance? Well, you about to be first round, bro.
Yeah, probably not at that point, but immediately after April the 20th, the calls started coming in for sure.
That's how it goes. Aqib, enjoyed this one. Looking forward to breaking down the NFL draft, breaking down the next set of NFL prospects. Paul, maybe we'll get that Deshaun Watson bet to happen for us so you can make that Broncos early bid happen. We'll be back in a couple of weeks to get you guys ready for the NFL draft. You know what to do. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Call to the booth. We'll see you next time.